Hey, lovely viewers, welcome to your favorite cooking channel, Cooking with Abba. Today we're going to do something special. We're going to make pie. If you like pastry, if you like turnover, and you have a sandwich maker, this is the recipe for you. Yes, you don't need any oven. All you need for this particular one is your sandwich maker. We also have the turnover recipe or the pie recipe on the channel where we use the oven. So if you have an oven, you can make use of it. On the channel, I've also taught various ways to bake without an oven in your saucepans, in your dadesen or your cauldrons. I've taught you quite a lot of ways to go about your baking. But this recipe, the beauty about it is that it's very convenient, it's very easy to do, it's very light, it's very crunchy. Few ingredients are needed. So you need your flour, you need your margarine or oil or butter, you need water, you need your spices and your salt, and you need your filling for your pie or for your pastry or your turnover. And all the quantities are in the description button in there. So you just pour in all your dried ingredients, mix it together with your margarine. You can use butter, or if you prefer that, you could use oil as well. Any of them works in there. The beautiful part about this recipe is within 10 minutes, your pie should be done. That's a beautiful part. And for this one, you don't really need an oven. So if you have a sandwich maker, it's not only sandwich you can make in it. I think on this channel, I also did the bread and egg version in the sandwich maker. You can make most of your sandwich maker. Don't just limit it to making how do you call it, egg sandwich or bread sandwich. Yes, make your pies in as well. So I'm just going to add in the water bit by bit because you don't want it to be too mushy. You don't want to end up using too much in there because you need just a very thin crust in there. Mind you, because the sandwich maker is not really ideally an oven. If you make your pastry very thick, it's going to take a very long time for it to cook. Because don't forget that the thermostat there, when it hits to a certain degree, it's going to cut off before it continues. And so you want to make sure that the crust is as thin as possible. So for this one, once I'm done, I just roll it out. And as I'm rolling, I'm going to be shaping it to be able to get that shape. And it's also good to measure out the size of your sandwich maker to help inform the shape you are forming. So that's a beautiful part about this. And as you are doing it, you are rolling it out, you want to be flipping it as well so that you don't end up letting it stick to your platform as well. So this recipe, honestly, is one of those ones you can enjoy. Some days you want to just pamper yourself or spoil yourself. You can do this conveniently without going to a grocery shop. You can do this conveniently with less stress as well. So yes, like I said, make sure you susu your how do you call it, your sandwich maker for you to be able to get a good fit. Because if your crust is not enough, if your pastry base is not enough, you finish and then the pie, you know, it won't be it will be open. There will be open ends, which will make it spill over, which is not the best as well. So yes, do well to roll this as thin as possible. You realize how thin mine was. That is what is going to give you that crunchiness and that crustiness in there as well. And it's going to help it bake properly as well. Because if it's too thick, masa, I'm trying to if it's too thick, too, it's going to take you more time than necessary as well. So yes, on the channel, like I said, I have more pastry recipes in here as well. How to make your normal Ghanaian pies, like we call it meat pie, or your turnovers, which is the right term for it as well. So to commence, you need to put on your sandwich maker once you are done with the whole process, and I'm going to just try to see whether it will fit. Yes, I realized it was going to fit. I was not going to really have so much problems in there. So you need to put it on for it to heat up a bit, like you do for your conventional oven. You always heat up your oven before you put your pastry or your baked stuff into it. You do the same thing with the sandwich maker. You need to heat it up before the pastry goes into it. And once it's heated up, you're going to first and foremost grease it. So you use your brush with some margarine or some oil or some butter so that it doesn't stick to the sandwich maker. Another thing about it is when you do it like that, it also gives you more beautiful looking pies. Like it makes the honey effect. So So because you want that beauty as well, it's also good to grease it up as well. Then you put in your how do you call it? Your pastry base into it, and then you put in your filling. The beautiful thing about the sandwich maker is that it's very easy for you to really put in enough filling. Yes, because there's already holes or space in there. So make sure that when you put the crust in, use your hand to push it into it properly, and then fill in the filling properly, like memunye dukakra. Any filling you want would work, whether you want vegetables, whether you want protein. In this video, I used onion with beef pate, or if you want to use corned beef, whatever filling you want to use is going to work for you. Once you're done, take off the excesses and then push it into the main base of it, and you just have to leave this to cook by itself. I'm going to cleaned the small base which was left. Yes, I didn't want to waste it. So I used it to do a mini pie as well. Yes, mini pastry, mini turnover. Yes, so I just rolled it all up. Then I placed some of the filling into it, and then I closed it, and I got my cute pie. So once this was done, that one also went in as well. Yes. So very cute pie there. And because I had excess filling, I also took my bread and then I filled it in as well. Yes, this is a typical Ghanaian person. Nothing goes waste. So you can just fill it into your bread as well. And you can do the next batch, because sometimes putting just this small pie in there when there's nothing also sounds a bit funny. Yes. So I checked it 5 minutes after. Then I just brushed it just a little to give me some good looking, Kenyan pie. Kenyan pie, they are milk and I say now they are fast. So now you're fine. So yes, like I said, in your sandwich maker, depending on how it is, usually you get to know if it is done from first and foremost the aroma. Once it's done, you can really smell it. Another thing you would realize is once it's done, there'll be some steam coming from the side. When you open it, you realize that it is firm and crusty enough. It is well cooked. So for this one, I realized the bottom part, which was getting good heat, was done, but the top part was not overly crunchy. It wasn't really there. And so what I did was to put it back and then flip it. Mind you, when you're flipping, you don't have to, like, you have to do it horizontal and vertical all together because of the lines in the sandwich maker. If you don't do that well, you're going to have issues in there. And once you take this out of it, you can also grease it and put your bread into it. Put your how do you call it, semicircle pastry or pie into it as well. And that can also turn into another recipe for you. So yes, this is how it looks when it's done. You get that crunchy thin crust, which is very nice, and this is very simple. So if you have a small family, nuclear family, you could do this and you can all share. Yes, for breakfast, everybody can get a piece of the pie and you can enjoy it. If it's only yourself, to spoil yourself at times. So yes, this is one recipe I really want you to give it a try, especially if you have a sandwich maker at home. So it's like, see you in the next food video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video with other people as well. Let them see what they can do with their sandwich makers as well. Do live life to the fullest. Be joyous, be merry. Lots of love for my team and I.